Hi, how are
Hi.
you both doing?
Very well.
Nithya, you're not very well.
Yeah, I'm not very well.
But you can't tell that she's sick, no?
Yeah, except for my
She's a
voice.
great actor.
Yeah, but my voice will give it away, I think.
She's basically Phoebe Buffet with that sexy voice.
Oh,
Yes.
Phoebe is amazing. I love Phoebe.
Smelly cat.
Smelly cat.
Sorry, you gotta take
That
it
was
away.
amazing.
It's all
What?
because
No,
of you.
what
You
did I
totally
say?
fed her right before the interviews. You said all this.
It's all a misunderstanding. I'm always misunderstood. No. So,
Yes.
Nithya Menen, I've come to realize, has been the sweetest person ever.
Okay.
As a
Don't do that. People
No, I
will
want to get
think
to the
you're
bully
being-
part. Of course, I'll get to the bully part. But then, when she joins the other force of nature, which is Padma Priya, then something happens. Then there's this magic that happens, this collective whining, the collective bullying
Whining.
that happens.
I don't want Padma Priya wines. We have one bathroom, okay? And I'm like, listen, girls, we're all using the same bathroom. Can we keep it dry?
Yeah.
But somebody goes in and he's so...
We don't know who.
We don't know who. I'm
haven't
still
found it.
trying to find out who. I think women in general, to me, I always say, like, thank God for women. The world is so much of a better place because of women. So I really do feel like that. But I can't really pinpoint one person and say, oh, this is a Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've noticed that a film really, the success of a film really works in a certain way that it's so remembered and stuff. Only if both characters work well. The female character is very, very important. You get that female character wrong, or you get a character that the audience doesn't connect to. The film doesn't work. You can't make a film work with one person.
Hello everyone, welcome to News 18 Showsha, and we have today with us two of the finest actors of Indian cinema, Parvathy and Nithya, in the house.
Thank you.
Hi, how are
Hi.
you both doing?
Very well.
Nithya, you're not very well.
But yeah, I'm not very
But
well.
you can't tell that she's sick, no?
Yeah, except for my
She's a
voice.
great actor.
Yeah, but my voice will give it away, I think.
She's basically Phoebe Buffet with that sexy voice.
Oh,
Yes.
Phoebe is amazing. I love Phoebe.
Smelly cat.
Smelly cat.
Sorry, you gotta
That
take it
was
away.
amazing.
You better like interrupt us once in a while.
Okay, so Nithya, we have heard that you're quite a bully. Is it true?
Whoa, she went for it.
It's all
What?
because
No,
of you. You
what did I
totally
say?
fed her right before the interviews. You said all this.
It's all a
Shouldn't
misunderstanding.
say
I'm
this in
always
front of-
misunderstood. No. So,
Yes.
Nithya Menon, I've come to realize, has been the sweetest person ever. As a
Don't do that. People
No, I
will
want to get
think
to the
you're
bully
being-
part. Of course, I'll get to the bully part. But then, when she joins the other force of nature, which is Padma Priya, then something happens. Then there's this magic that happens, this collective whining, the collective bullying
Whining.
that happens.
I don't want Padma Priya wines. Okay, I just like,
It's like, you know, Laurel and Hardy.
I just catch people doing
Situation.
things and I just say it.
Like, who opened the bathroom door? Who spilled water on the bathroom floor? There is one part of the couch which is Nithya Menon's. Nobody else occupies it.
Oh, she's very finicky like that.
No,
She loves her spaces. I think it's taken for too far. She's one of the cutest, sweetest persons I know.
Yeah.
But she knows exactly what she wants. She's not a pushover like me, is what I'm basically trying to say. Okay.
No, we have one bathroom, okay? And I'm like, listen, girls, we're all using the same bathroom. Can we keep it dry?
Yeah.
But somebody goes in and he's so...
We don't know who.
We don't know who. I'm
haven't found
still
it.
trying to find out who.
And we're trying to say, when we have to give some context of one bathroom, is because we were all shooting in this one location for Wonder Women.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like
Yeah.
in Malayalam industry. There's only one bathroom for everyone. It's basically all of us, about 8 of us, sharing this one room, which was a very fun, girls' hostel vibes
Yeah, so
going
this
on.
doesn't happen at all often. We all have our own vanity vans, but for the first time, like all of us, we were shooting in a property which was Anjali's property, and it was a house. It was a very old house, and so we were all just chucked into one room.
Yeah.
And like where they're like, listen, all of you just like go into, because the rest of the house was being shot in.
Yeah.
So we had one room and they're like, listen, you guys all need to like stay there. And because I think it was Anjali and because it was all of us, we just like all piled on each other in that one room, and that's why we had one room and one couch and one bathroom.
Okay. We get it.
Yes, I hope you do when you watch the film.
You'll get it when you watch the film.
It comes from a space of love.
Yeah.
Really.
So we have heard that you have actually shot for it over a span of 12 days. Is it correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
we
quick.
had a break in between as well.
Yeah. Thanks.
So for how many hours a day did you shoot?
Oh, we got there somewhere around 5:45 and then would leave maybe 11:30 at night or something.
Well, it wasn't 11:30. I think around
12.
9:30, 9:30, 10 we were done. So
It
morning,
depends
yeah,
too,
all
but most
day.
of us had all shots together too. We wouldn't know exactly. There is a lot of content. So Anjali used to say this. I hope I can say this. It's like, if only the writer was someone else, I could have shouted at them who wrote all this, but she wrote it too. So she couldn't get mad at herself.
Wow.
There are 7 protagonists, and all the 7 characters have equal space, equal footage in the film. And as Anjali wrote it too, there was complete justice to each character arc. It was all looped off in the end.
Right.
So that is a very tall ask, and for that to be contained in one movie, it's not easy. I mean, we follow 1, 2, maximum 3 protagonists in most films, but this and everybody's journey to be honored like that, there was a lot to take. But it didn't feel like we've been, dragged down to work or, getting tired of it because of the energy we had on set.
Right.
And I know Saya and Archana, Padma Priya, Anjali, all of them from before, but Nithya and Nadia ma'am and Amrita, I've been admiring their work from afar, but not been able to meet them even. Like,
Yeah.
I think, Nithya and I were in Bangalore days, but we never shared screen space.
Right.
So I would say I was quite intimidated in terms of the fact that, oh my God, Nadia ma'am's shooting with us. Then it's like, I've read a lot of comments saying that Parvathy and Nithya should work together. And I would always be like, and watch her interviews too, where she'd be very like, and I'm like, oh my God, how is she like so articulate and calm and composed, whereas I'll be like, so I was quite intimidated and waiting to see how it worked out, and it was like easy peasy, fitting into each other's energy that happened, which we got lucky. We got lucky, or maybe by design, Anjali made that happen. I don't know. It was wonderful.
That's great.
It didn't feel like 12 days of like, mad work.
Mad
or
work.
anything,
Yeah. But since it's called Wonder Woman, I would want to know who is the Wonder Woman in your lives.
I was just saying, like, I can't. Somebody else asked this question, and I really couldn't think of one Wonder Woman or something like that in my life. I really can't.
Okay.
I don't know if that. Yeah. I mean, women. I think women in general, to me, I always say, like, thank God for women. The world is so much of a better place because of women. So I really do feel like that, but I can't really pinpoint one person and say, oh, this is a Wonder Woman. I don't know.
I would have said a few years ago, maybe 7 months ago, I would have said a known personality's name. But when I was asked the same question earlier in the day, I very naturally said my mother's name. And I have to say that that's been the last few years of my experience, how life has turned out for me. Even I was surprised by my answer, and it just was like, it just fit. It actually is. We've had our own journey, my mom and I. But at this point, there is so much of her in me that I'm learning to love and forgive and honor more like it. So I can also pace myself and forgive myself while understanding what she had to go through in her lived experience. I think with each movie I do, and especially movies where there is beautiful writing like Wonder Woman, I have so much more space, like infinite space to hold for another person.
Yeah.
I'm more for women than for any other gender, to be very honest. I would be very candid about that.
Right.
Because I think all kinds of conditioning that happens to us in terms of whatever it is that we hold back from achieving our greatest selves.
Yeah.
There is so much of unlearning we have to do after a point.
That's
is
right.
like, it's another mountain to climb. You think you learn. After a point, it's all about unraveling. And I have witnessed how my mother has unlearned and relearned and sort of grown up along with me. You suddenly turn around and you're like, you've done work on yourself too. That's wonderful. Like, I hope that at your age I'll continue to do work on myself.
Yeah.
So I guess that ability is beautiful. So she's
Yeah,
fine.
that's lovely. On a slightly lighter note, the kind of equation that we see between the two of you is very refreshing for us because, see, look at you both. It seems like you're very intimidating people. People really need to mince their words and conduct themselves a certain way in front of you. Are you aware of that perception that you have?
We could be that too. Let the mystery prevail. No, I don't know. There are times when I have zero patience. So I might come across as somebody who's like, do not say that, this, that, and the other. But there are other moments too. I think the other time when with Anjali and I was sitting in an interview and someone was asking, how do you attribute a quality to yourself? I was like, I don't know. Like 3 days I'll be boisterous and spunky and everything. The other 3 days I'm like, do not come close to me.
Yeah.
I keep moving. I ebb and flow like crazy. I'm tired of like, I'm not one person. Like, I'm sure when I meet you, I'm like this, but somebody else was like, oh my God, Parvathy, was she terrible to you as well? And that could be true too,
Yeah.
So I'm now tired of like having to hold an expectation of self and like stick to it. I'm true to myself and at any given point itself is a tall order.
Yeah.
So let alone the perception others have of me.
What about you?
I don't think I should be the one to talk about other people finding me intimidating. I'm not sure. I definitely don't let people overstep a certain line. I don't appreciate that. I'm very, very professional. I really appreciate professionality when it comes to professionalism, when it comes to work.
Right.
I don't like people who are loose, about it or just like. So
Can
I
I be
like.
professional for a bit?
But
Can you make a wish?
I don't do this.
Just do it for
Please
me.
make
no?
a
I don't
wish,
believe.
yeah.
I don't believe in all this.
For me. Can I?
Yeah, to go for it.
What I'm speaking?
It didn't even go.
Did you go?
Yeah.
Okay. Hard wishes.
My God. I'm
Sorry.
sure we will not come to know what that wish was.
Sorry, it was very
So-
unprofessional of me.
Yeah. So, but then I'm very easygoing.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not. I'm not sure what it is that people see. I think a lot of times people expect women to be a certain way,
Right.
which is very. I'm not sure what. Like maybe a bit of a pushover, or you can just, and so when you are a little bit strong in your character. I think it's a little intimidating or something, but it's not like that. I'm the nicest person ever.
She volunteers as tribute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But
I'm
at work I
very
have seen
sweet.
that. I've
No,
seen
that
that.
you are.
I've seen Nithya at work now
Yeah.
that I can actually say from another person's perspective. She's super sweet, great fun, all of that. But there was this one moment which I do not wish to divulge on set,
Okay.
where I needed help and she noticed someone wasn't helping when they could have, and she tore it down for them. Like she ripped one, and how. And
Wow.
I was amazed at that, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I should learn, dude. Like, I should ask for what is mine. Like, you gotta know your boundaries, and you gotta ask and stand up for it.
Yeah.
So when she did that, and without making any fanfare about it, I was like, that's what you gotta learn. And some things like what happens in Wonder Woman on set, like this. Most of it, I believe, I'm enriched by the experience of seeing my fellow Wonder Women being who they are,
Yeah.
unapologetically occupying space, and just being themselves. It's a huge learning process. Not everything comes from watching things and debating and panel discussions and
Yeah.
documentaries, right? Some things have to be like in front of your eyes, like
Right.
a lived experience.
Like a first-hand experience.
Thanks, babe. I don't think I've said thank you for that.
How lovely. How lovely.
I mean, it was very.
It was an expected, commonsensical thing, right? Like it was expected, and yeah.
Anyway.
Moving on.
Moving on. So you both have, on separate occasions, revealed that you have directorial aspirations.
Neo? Suresh? Ramesh? Sorry. Yeah.
Any plans? Do you want to cast each other, direct each other?
I definitely do.
Yeah.
I have never spoken. A lot of things are happening in camera for the first time between us here.
You're the lucky
I definitely would love to go to her but I gotta find my footing first as a director before
Yeah.
I go to her with something that's worthy of her time and talent.
What about you?
I've always wanted to be behind the camera, so I will definitely do it at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't really have specific plans or timelines, or I'm going to do it when, I don't know. But I write, so it's all there. I do have scripts written and everything. So I think it's just a matter of time when I decide to just put it into action.
Will you keep her in mind?
No pressure.
No pressure, no pressure.
Yeah, I know. So I don't think I really think about actors or anything. It doesn't cross my mind. But if I do write something and I feel like, oh, like Parvathy would be good for it, I won't hesitate a second. I will listen. I have this thing and you have to come and do it.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take what I can get. Just kidding. No, obviously.
All right. Okay. The plot of this project is very interesting, Wonder Women. It's about these women who come together. It's a prenatal clinic. So I would want to ask you, for a lot of women, motherhood is a very integral part of their lives. That's something they want to live. And please don't get me wrong. I just want to
I
ask
get it,
you.
yeah. Don't get me wrong with my expressions.
No. So
Sometimes
is that something that you see for yourself in the near future?
Not something I'm keen to discuss.
Okay.
So definitely as an actor, there are boundaries that I would want to keep away from who I am, like all this fun self that we get to share.
Yeah.
But then we get very few things that are fiercely ourselves. But what we are, I believe we are channels to portray these characters and through that have so many takeaways for ourselves and have this sort of social contract, right, with us and the audience. Like they pay for the tickets, they come to see the service that we provide, they get to give us the feedback, criticize or praise, whichever works for them. And that is a very sacred relationship.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that, unless and until it is volunteered by the artist, I feel can be very counterproductive to the idea itself of, how in cinema, when you suspend your disbelief, you go in and it's Parvathy or it's Nithya, but after a while you completely forget that and you cry with them, you laugh with them. So that's a magic of cinema. And after a particular point, I get very fierce about not mentioning anything about what do I see.
Right.
I personally don't think motherhood is not something that every woman, it's integral to every woman's,
Absolutely.
or not even woman, a person's idea of what needs to happen in their life.
True.
But this story definitely is about these 6 women who go to prenatal classes. But there again, there is a variety of journeys in terms of how they arrive at it.
Right.
What choices they had to make to get to the point, and what are their obstacles in place that they have to overcome. In that sense, it is definitely, the story definitely speaks about that section. This is definitely not an all-compassing statement on pregnancy itself.
Right,
it is
right.
about their journey and definitely scratching the surface on something that needs to be spoken about, can be very well discussed and understood, but hasn't been until now.
Do you want to add something?
No, I think I completely agree with what she said. There's certain things which are quite sensitive also and quite personal, so better not to answer that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, before we let you go, I just have one last question. I remember in this one interview a while back, Nithya, you had said that the success of a film largely depends on its female characters, which I found really interesting. Even for, these male-dominated action films. And, the sooner filmmakers realize that, the better it is. Do you think we are in a better place today as far as that perception goes?
I meant it more in terms of realizing the value of the woman or the female lead in a film.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if people really still get it. I can't believe I divulged that information. I would have kept it to myself and used it in my own filmmaking. But I've noticed that a film really, the success of a film really works in a certain way that it's so remembered and stuff. Only if both characters work well. The female character is very, very important. You get that female character wrong, or you get a character that the audience doesn't connect to. The film doesn't work. You can't make a film work with one person.
Yeah.
If you do have a female character, if that character really connects to the people, you've got a winner in your hand.
That's right.
This is just my personal observation, and I don't think people really see it like that yet. But are there more stories being told? Yes, absolutely. The problem is nowadays it's more, this is a female-centric film, this is a female-oriented film and all that. I really don't like that.
Yeah.
If someone comes up to me and says, it's a female-oriented film, I'll be like, I don't want to hear this, because you can't, that's not a nice approach. I don't like it. So, I mean, it has to be normal. Like, it's a female being in the film, normal.
Absolutely.
There's nothing necessary to say, oh, this is centered around, whatever. But even in a normal film, in a romantic film, in a comedy film, you should have well-written characters. That's all. It matters.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, thank you so much to both of you. This was such a pleasure. And all the very best for your film.
Thank you so
I hope
much.
everyone enjoys it.
I hope you watch it.
Of course I will.
Thank you, Titas.
Thank you.
This is Parvathy. I'm Nithya.
You're watching us on News 18 Showsha.